Okay, hello. Okay, could you tell me your name and your occupation?
Okay, my name is Dr. Rodney O'Connor. I'm a general dentist, and I used to practice in the 19th Ward on Arnett Boulevard for about 26 years, and we've been here at 521 Behan Road for approximately 5 years.
Okay. Okay, where are you from? And tell me a little bit about your neighborhood.
Well, originally I grew up in Fort Smith, Arkansas, the second largest city in the state, and moved here with my family in '68, and proceeded to attend college at Kentucky State in Frankfort, and did my dental training at University of Kentucky, and finished up a residency here at Eastman Dental Center.
Okay. Okay. In 60 seconds or less, describe the struggle that you face, any struggles that you face growing up.
Growing up, well, the first thing I that I encountered, I guess, a little bit of racism was when I was supposed to meet a buddy at the Malco Theater. And I went there and I just got in line with all the rest of the people, and I got to the box office, and then the woman told me I was in the wrong line. I had to go upstairs, and I was like, I was like 13. I didn't know what that meant. But then when I got upstairs, it was all decrepit, dirty, and whatever, and I found out that that's where all the blacks had to go, and all the whites had the better seats downstairs. Then my dad, being the only black dentist there in Fort Smith, was very instrumental with the Chamber of Commerce, and he was influential in desegregating that theater and a lot of other venues there in Arkansas. So that was my first encounter. When I went to dental school in Kentucky, I was only like one of three African Americans in our class of 53, and I was one of the few people that I think that had a background in art, I mean, sculpture and all of that. And we had a morphology class. We had to, do anatomy for different parts of the dentition. And I never could get an honors. I always got a P for passing, and that bothered me. I started getting a little insomnia, and went to talk to somebody, and this guy just gave me a whole stack of magazines to read and a prescription for phenobarbital. So I started nodding out in my classes, like, this is not working, so let me just get through with this and get out of there. So those are some of the obstacles I've run across. And right now, we have not run into a lot. One time, we did have like a Caucasian patient come in, and then I guess he looked around at the staff and whatever, and he said, I left my keys in my car, and that was it. So, but we don't run into that a lot. Now, sometimes it's important to note that sometimes I get a little discriminated against with my own people, because we're kind of, brought up to believe that, if it's white, it's right. And a lot of people are not really used to anybody of color being in a authoritarian mode in a professional setting. And so you get like second guess. You can't have enough credentials for a lot of our people. But I think I understand that, and I don't have a problem with trying to soothe their conscience, and basically educate them and give them a little bit of wherewithal that anybody can become successful.
Very good. Okay. What's the catalyst? What was the catalyst that kept you on the right path?
I think the catalyst for me was my upbringing with my parents. Both my parents really stressed education and learning as much as possible. I mean, my dad, he taught me violin when I was coming up in high school and in grammar school in Arkansas. And then he had this little thing about, if I was in the third or fourth grade, I'd have to study fourth or fifth grade, especially math or literature, to get me prepared for the following semester. So I had to do that before going out to play during the summer. And so I've instilled that with my two daughters, and they're doing very, very well. Once a child is used to studying, and they know that learning is to be expected of them, it's usually smooth sailing. But if you have a child that's just up to their own devices, or they can play video games or whatever, and education is just for the teachers to deal with, and the parents are exonerated of that responsibility, don't expect a lot, because there's just so much that teachers can do, especially if they're living in the suburbs and they just want a paycheck. Don't scream at your kids because they really didn't have the upbringing. It's got to start from home.
Right. Okay. Provide me with 3 keys to your success.
Well, like I said, the parental upbringing I've had, I think that's number one. I think it's most people say, and God, mention Him. I think I do have some faith in religion, but primarily I think it's just sticking by your bootstraps and trying to do the right thing. It's not always easy to do that, but if you know what goals you have, it's important to buckle down and stick to it, and pursue your goals. And then once you've obtained your goals, you want to try to do everything you can to maintain that status. So there are a lot of businesses, from what I understand, they open up shop, and I think the average is maybe about 4 to 5 years, and they may be done for a variety of reasons. So the fact that I've been in practice for going on 36 years says a little something, I think. And I'm continuing to learn. As some people can get out of school, they start you start a business. I went to a residency program that extended to Genesee Hospital, Millbank Health Center, and I'm just taking a lot of continuing education courses because I enjoy learning new things and imparting new technologies for my patient. In the end, it makes it easier for me too, because I love living in the 21st century.
Very good. Okay. And lastly, do you have any last-minute words of inspiration? I know that's kind of similar to the last 2 questions, but anything you want to close with?
Well, I would say stay positive. Stay positive and try to be around people that are positive. Don't accept the hype about hanging out, being gangster, having your pants all down. Try to step to a different drummer, that being yourself. Be a leader instead of a follower. I see too many people that are just going around the same path. Everybody's all tattooed. Everybody say, like, please notice me. You got music up too loud. I mean, I like my music up a little bit, but it's like some people want to be their own parade, and I think I understand a little bit of that, because a lot of us are a little bit disenfranchised and feel like we're swept underneath the rug. Nobody recognizes us. We don't get the recognition or the respect. Respect yourself. Ladies, you can, present themselves in a more ladylike fashion, and demand the respect for young fellows. Young fellows need to be about opening doors for ladies and showing them some respect. Hopefully they'll have some father figures that can show them that they respect their mothers. But when we have absentee fathers, that it seems to be so prevalent in our society, it's incumbent upon these guys to just try to go to the library, go on the internet, and just see what things they could improve upon themselves. They're going to have to take things upon themselves, because if there's nobody to teach you, you got to unfortunately kind of teach yourself. I was lucky because I had two parents that stayed with us. They had ups and downs, but they stayed with myself and my two sisters, and I can't thank them enough for what they've done.
Okay, good. Thank you.